Just noticed now as I'm cutting some of the parts off here, this felt really flimsy, the blaster holder, as you can see there, and it had me terrified, but then it actually feels quite rubbery. So you've actually got, if you can listen, quite a firm piece of plastic there, yeah, quite firm plastic there, but if you see this part here, it's actually rubber, or a vinyl type material. So it is actually quite flexible and movable, as is this part here, and I'm assuming, no, that's quite solid. That's quite a nice touch. You can actually see the change in the plastic there. So you go from firm plastic to soft plastic. I'm quite impressed with that. Might as well take you off whilst I'm here. Stay there. I'll carry on preparing all these pieces and then, yeah, stop talking. One thing I'm impressed with this kit is when I first looked at it, I thought, oh my god, this is going to take forever, because it does look an insanely stupid amount of parts on the frames. It's actually building up quite quickly. Oops. It's been about an hour's work so far. So I would suggest this is going to take no more than 2 hours tops to build. Bearing in mind as well that I'm trying to film this at the same time, so if you're on your jack and you're literally just building it, it shouldn't take more than 2 hours. Maybe a little bit quicker. Honourable mention here to my good friend Mr. Fox. No doubt you're looking at this and thinking, yep, I'm going to paint that. One thing I would say, I really don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, the white plastic is stupidly shiny, so if you are thinking of weathering this, you definitely need to get a really fine sander on it to take that shine away. Because I honestly don't think you'll be able to paint over the top of that straight off. It'll just smear and just fall off. I honestly can't tell if you... yeah, there you go. It's ridiculously shiny. So, Mr. Fox, if you're thinking of painting this, you definitely need to get rid of this shine, mate. It's insanely shiny. So, honourable mention to Mr. Fox. I never can get the model making guru dot thing figured out properly, so I'll run your name across the bottom of the screen here-ish. Mr. Fox is somebody I've been following now for a while, who has a ridiculous amount of knowledge on weathering and stuff like that. So if you're new to the hobby, or a rank amateur like I am, you definitely need to watch this lad's videos. They are the best tutorials I've seen on YouTube yet. And he's a fellow Mancunian. Lovely. Right, is that enough plugging? Yeah, I think I've made him embarrassed again. I keep making him blush on Twitter. Oh, there we go. Right, this one's one hip, one knee, with a this way up arrow on it. At this point I'm not even looking at the instructions, it's that easy to follow once you've done one side. Just a quick glance to make sure that I'm getting things the right way around. Like that. Just make sure that you're not doing it upside down or anything like that. It's literally just falling together, it really is. Whilst you're on the HobbyLink website too, have a good look at the rest of the Bandai kits. There is some very cool things coming out very soon, which I've already got pre-ordered. which way around, so there you go. Big parts at the front, there we go. Clunk. 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 That last clunk was my thumb popping just there. I'll just drop you out of your view for a second whilst I get him kind of lined up. Oh, my battery's flashing at me. I was going to change the battery and then I'll be back in a minute. Check that out. Beautiful. Right, quick battery change. Beautiful. Here's what I just noticed. Goes from 4 to 6 to 7. I hadn't spotted these arrows, so I'm already jumping ahead and doing these parts as I'm going along. So I've just spotted them going from 7 to 9, which is the where's it gone? The flexible rifle holder. I've been confused that then for a second. So yeah, just be aware of that when you make the sub-assemblies. I almost have to show you. Make the sub-assemblies and you work all the way through. There's then an arrow that links up to the top of the page to show you to put the sub-assemblies together. Yes. See? Even those of us who have been modelling for a while learn new things. And this is the greatest thing about modelling. If you ever decide to get into this, as nerdy as it is, you never stop learning. Now then, you're given a choice at this part, where we're actually making the waistband. You get the choice of either putting the holster on the left hand side or the right hand side. Those of us that are absolutely nerdy about Star Wars will already know that in some of the shots, especially in New Hope, the holster does switch from left to right depending on which part of the Death Star battle we're on. The escape from the Death Star even. A lot of Stormtroopers are seen firing left-handed, and again that's something that happened in New Hope quite a lot. For some reason they decided to flip the image around where the Stormtroopers were shooting, just to emphasise the fact that they were absolutely terrible shots. So, keeping in tradition with New Hope, I'm going to stick the holster on the left hand side. So, I will need different parts by the look of it. Yes. Okie doke. Back in a minute. There's a lot of stuff that needs to come off. So we've also got what I've always thought of as a gas mask canister, like the German army used to have. Yeah, so I'll get these finished, sorted out, and get rid of my mess. Okay, I've forgotten where I was up to now because life stuck its ugly nose into my business and instructed me, and I've got to try and figure out where I was again now. Right, I vaguely remember we were building this holster. The shocking lighting conditions. Oh, look, there we go. Try that. That's better. Okay. I've got a shelty thing at me again, telling me that it goes that way round. The camera will focus. So I've got that there. That goes into a tiny little hole there. Just about make him out. Tiny little clunk, and it goes there. So that's the holster strap, which is all very nice and all very lovely. And then we get this piece here. Now bearing in mind again that I'm going for the left-handed option, just to mess about with the continuity of it all. And then apparently it goes in there somewhere, like so. Okay, oh yeah, there we go. Right, so on that white piece there, you can just about make out the little tab, and then you get the little groove, so you basically thread through, so it'll line up with the hip. There we go. And just give it a little bit of a squish with your thumbnail, your fingernail. It should line up like so. And everything lines up with that little groove just there. A little push. Another satisfying little click. And in we go. Now, do you sit up? Not quite. So it does feel like, oops, have you gone? We're not going to quite get the full range of motion in the hip, or are we? So I've still got other pieces to go in it as well. Right. So if you're standing there like that, there we go. That would make more sense. Okay, so this one goes that way around. And again line up with the tabs. And in we go. And get the front section of the belt. And again we've got the shape tabs to help us out a little bit. So you just want to make out the L shape there and on that side, which will line up with the L shape cutouts there. So it is fairly idiot proof, this. Lovely little click. Let's turn back around, do the back section. And people are bothering me again. Okay, so we got that part there. Oh my. Patience. Patience. And then it goes that way up. So we get this little circly thing to the top. Like so. Let's get this right. And that goes in there like so. And again, we've got idiot proof pins at the back, which will line up with the holes. And in we go. Like so. So he's fleshing out lovely now. Fleshing out something lovely. Alright, let's put you off that side. Let's build an arm. Right, I've got the spare battery ready this time, so I don't have to go legging it off. Okay. So again, I've pre-prepared all the cutting and stuff like that, just to save you a little bit of boredom. Okay. So we have this piece. Which goes onto that piece there, apparently. Which then lines up with this piece. Go on, cooperate. There we go. Which goes in with that piece, and then a little sticky up part clips into the pole joints like you. It's interfering with my focus. And then there's a couple of little lugs in there. It looks like you have to line these little grooves up. Sorry about the lighting. These little grooves there. So you just line them up. And again, there's a little click. Just let you know that it's going in. I love how functional all this is. I really do. And the elbow, by the looks of it. Just get it that way around. Stick one part in there. One part in there. So line it like this. And put the cover over. Just connects in there. Lovely, lovely. Right then. Again, using all the little things. I don't know if you can make out there. I've actually got the arm laid out. It's got the pauldron, shoulder, elbow, upper arm, lower arm into the hand. So if you line it up like that and work down the stage that the instructions give you, yes, it's a bit finicky. But it also saves you a lot of trouble. And then the forearm. Again, there's a little shouty comment thing. Probably make out that's kind of mushroom shaped. You actually want the ball inside the socket there, with the base of the mushroomy part sticking down to receive the hand. So it all makes sense. A little bit fiddly, so just be careful that doesn't go pinging off across your room, your workspace, or wherever we're building. Right then, so on the instructions I have the arm socket there with just about make it cut out there for the armpit. So we have the armpit lined up to the top, the elbow to the bottom, and then this notch here goes into the upper arm. Like so. So it's kind of a quarter turn. So you got the armpit there, elbow goes in at the base there. And we should have a nice little clunk, he says. There you go. And then we have the quarter turn for the forearm at the bottom of the elbow. And again, there should be a nice little clunk. Come on, clunk. Come on, clunk. Not going to clunk. Why are you not clunking? Oh, it has. No, it hasn't. Has it? Ah, it has clunked. There's a bit of wiggle there, which will count for the arm moving. That's clever. I like that. So it gives you plenty of scope to bend the arm properly. I like that. I could be wrong. That's just how it feels. Okay, so put the hand in. Then we connect the rest of the upper arm together. Another clunk. Pop his arm in. Satisfying pop. He's coming together. I'll tell you what, that looks the part. It really does. The only thing I'm a tiny bit worried about is He looks like he's hunching his shoulders. For me, the neck's not quite tall enough. Or maybe I'm being a bit picky. The range of motion is absolutely astounding, it really is. It actually moves like a real person. Beautiful. Right. Stop faffing about. Let's get the other round on. Right then. One thing I didn't show you with that pauldron is... I think they're called pauldrons. I could be wrong. Don't know if you can make out the little tabs sticking out there. The instructions aren't very clear about that. You do have to go hunting a little bit. You see just there, shows a couple of arrows which apparently mean snip these off. It does tell you a little bit earlier on, but like I say, with it all being in, there we go, just tell you there. But there's no English on here whatsoever, with it being a Japanese kit. So whether or not Bandai are going to address that at some other date, I genuinely don't know. Time will tell. So just give those a clip. Let's go over it with your sanding stick. Now, compared to if you do have experience with models to begin with, if you compare it to other kits where you're clipping away from the sprue and you end up with the little tabs and stuff like that you need to take care of, this kit is absolutely sublime. There's hardly any cleanup to be done whatsoever if you get close enough to the frame to start with. A lot of kits, a lot of manufacturers could learn a lot from this. They really could. It's absolutely amazing. And I cannot wait, simply cannot wait for the other kits that I've pre-ordered. Again, if anybody's interested, I'll probably do a build-up of those as well. So stay tuned. If I haven't bored you. All two of you watching. Right then, that's that one. That's that one. So we stick the... So this is basically a mirror of the right arm we've just built. So again, making sure that the tab is up. So that's the upper arm. So as you can see, I'm literally building this in front of you. Oops, get it right way around. So I'm literally building this at the same time as you're watching, and having just built the right arm, I can fly off and build the left arm without even having to think about it. Ooh, I've missed that one. So it's a little bit of cleanup I need to do on that one. Focus. There we go. So a little bit of cleanup there. Sorry, did I just blow down your ear? Do apologise. Should have warned you first. Okay, that's that one. So again, just check that with the instructions. It's a quarter turn. That way this time. So the elbow goes to the back. So we've still got that little bit of play, don't forget about that with the arm. Got that little bit of play to compensate for the range of motion. We do the quarter turn for the upper arm. Come on. Clunk. There we go. Stick the armpit in. Right. Spot the deliberate mistake. There we go. Powdering on. Ooh. The powder moves as well. Compensate for the arm movement. I like that. Clunk. And then we have. So that's why he's hunching, right? Figured it out now. How to do in a Tommy Cooper. You can actually move the arms down. And that looks a hell of a lot more natural now. It really does. So, I'm going to nip away. I'm going to cut the rest of the hands away from the frames. Oops. That's one Stormtrooper. I am absolutely gobsmacked with this kit. I really am. Considering I've not paid a hell of a lot of money for it, this is something that could easily retail for possibly at least double the price I've actually paid. One downside to it is that line up the back of the lower half of the helmet. Now you could take care of that with glue and filler, but to re-establish the amount of shine that there is on the white plastic anyway, it's a little bit of a faff, and personally I'm going to leave that. Glorious it really is. And I think, going off this, if you want a quick and nasty finish like I'm going to do, that's what these stickers are for. If you want a professional finish, like I know for a fact a friend of mine is going to do, Mr. Fox, and do the repaint and stuff like that, that's what the decals are for. Decals, tomato. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this guy. I can see all kinds of stop motion about to take place. Right then, enough talking. Let's get the rest of these hands done. Okay. So this is the part I'm really looking forward to. Because we have the good old blaster. I think that's the E11. Just tell me this one. Ooh, what's this? Okay, so I already had half an idea about this base thing to start with, because it's got a foothold there. Grips his foot, and then I don't quite remember what I've done with the base. Oh, there you are. There's the base. Just think I saw that out. They give you a clip just there, so you can connect two bases together. Okay. Now then, if anybody can understand what this says, I would very much appreciate you telling us what this is, because this is not in the kit. I genuinely do not know what that's for. Apparently it goes in there. But what's it for? Oops. Stay. So if anybody can translate that for us, please leave a comment below and help us out. Thank you. Right then, let's get back to the building. So we have the good old Sterling submachine gun from the British Army. And then we get the Scopy eyepiece. Now this is quite possibly one of, it's only 2 or 3 really tiny pieces. That's the front end of the big machine gun I'll show you in a second. Or is it? No, it's not. That's the pistol. Yeah, so there's only a couple of these tiny little pieces, so be careful that they don't go pinging off across your bedroom or your workspace or your garage or wherever else you're working on. Try and get it lined up if you can. If you can't, if you can live with it, then do so. And if you're a bit finicky about such things like I am, that's close enough. And then I didn't pay attention to which way that went. Just got another one I'll show to you. Oi, do it this way, stupid. Things on it. Right, so it's telling me. Don't know if you'll be able to make this out because I don't think my camera's good enough. Oh no. This corner here goes forward into this piece. Nope, I'm telling you lies. Right then, put that down before I lose it. There is a tiny little magazine holder just there, and it is shaped with a little T-shape. Just want to make that out, hopefully. So it's a tiny little T-shape, quick push, and then we're home, like so. And then apparently just underneath the scope you should see that hole. Could do with the pointy stick. I've got a pointy stick. See, I knew I'd get Ted in here somewhere. There we go, I'll use my needle file just in there. Tiny little hole, which hopefully that piece there will stick into. So making sure it all goes forward the way it should do. Yep, there we go. I'll show you that again. Missed that. I'm trying to watch you in a tiny little view screen this big. Whilst trying to stay focused at the same time. And it's giving me eye strain, which is always fun. Okay, there we go. So another satisfying little click as it goes in. Now for the fun part. I've gone ahead and pushed all the arm pieces on the back. So we've got a right fist, which comes as one piece. And we've got a left-handed pointy finger. I could use that for the pointy stick, couldn't I? Again, one piece. But then this is where the ingenuity comes in. So we've got a right hand, or at least half a right hand. The second half of a right hand. And what you do is, you take your weapon, place it in one half, and if you look there, the finger goes around the trigger beautifully. And then we take the other half of the hand, push it together. Now I'm doing this literally for the first time with you guys watching. Okay, so it goes in beautifully. Sorry about the scar in the hand. Fishing accident many years ago. That was a fun day. Right then, let's get you stood on there for a second so you don't fall over. Or are you left footed? There we go, left footed. So again, I'm doing this literally at the same time as you're watching it. So push the hand in. And there we have a blaster. Right then, let's take the hand off. Just for a second. Just put your fist in. Let's see what it's like with a fist. There you go. Use a bar. Yep. Now I'm going to have a lot of fun with this guy. Right then. Let's see if we can do this with a thumbnail. So it literally is a thumbnail job. Now then, I would definitely recommend having a safe hidey hole somewhere for this. As you can see, it goes back together again for safekeeping. So you definitely need somewhere to keep that stored. Right then, so that's right hand. These instructions down again. And then let's go for the big gun, which I can't quite remember the name of at the moment. It's based on a German machine gun from the Second World War. I think it was the Spandau. MG42, I think. It's beautifully detailed, it really is. Right down to the grooves of the pistol grip. Absolutely superb. I genuinely cannot sing the praises. Get the words out in a second. Of this kit highly enough. So the bipod, a couple of holes in it, fit onto these two lugs here, like so. Just got all the detail to the bottom. Have a satisfying click. Put the muzzle suppressor on, flash suppressor even. Again, another tiny little part, so be careful that doesn't go zinging off somewhere. And we have this tiny little piece here, which is some kind of balance support. I don't know if you can see there, that tiny little piece at the end that's a little bit smaller. Now it's doing its shouty thing at me again, to let me know that that should go in this side somewhere. Just there. So it looks like a charge handle. Oh my, that's fiddly. There we go. Just a little bit fiddly. I would definitely, if I was to do that again, I would definitely use some kind of tweezers, or possibly even long nose pliers, just to stop it going zinging off your room. Zinging off your room? It's terrible. Right then. This tiny little pistol thing, which I've only ever seen in promotion pictures. Which way down does that go? Yep, knew I'd do it. So be careful of the shape again. You want the narrower end to the front. Like so. Yeah, so I've only ever seen this in promo pictures. I've never actually saw it in the films, I don't think. And that is the weapons done. So yes, it's a left-footed base. Got with instructions, so if I take that off, and go clippity clip around here, clip, 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 like so. Put that there. Drop that in there. Will you behave? So to support that from underneath, just so you're popping through like I've just been naffing about with. There we go. Good old click again. You can actually build a whole squad of these guys by the look of it. Going off that. Oops. That's a connector piece for the bases. So push that in. So yeah, looks like you could buy a whole squad of these and put them all on. Oh my word. And with the insane price of these, like I said, it's ridiculously cheap. Especially at the moment with the exchange rates. As of filming, in very early February 2015, right then. so we can lower you down a little bit. I'll do some proper videography in a minute. I just want to give you an idea of the size and the posability. Right, I'll go get my tripod and do this properly for you. Absolutely beautiful. It really is. Right then. So if we'll go off a right-handed trooper again. Right-handed trooper. Where's your right-handed shooty? Your right-handed shooty. Drop it on the floor, that's a good start. We'll take the big gun. I just want to try something out with you watching as I do this for the first time. So we'll plop that back in his right hand and then move the arm around, and as you can see the whole arm twists around exactly like a real arm would do. The standard left hand that we built earlier now supports the weapon, so a little bit of fine tuning, a little bit of jiggly pokery. There we go. Absolutely fully posable. I can drop him into a crouch, hopefully. Bend your knee. Good lad. There we go. So I can go for an action pose. Absolutely beautiful kit, it really is. I would strongly urge you to buy this kit just for the amount of fulfillment that you get from it. It's the best kit I've built for a long time. So easy to do as well. First impression of it when I first opened it was, oh my god, this is a stupid amount of pieces, this is going to take forever. I've literally built this in 3 hours, something like that, and that's with real life getting in the way and me having to disappear and go and take care of real world stuff. I'm absolutely speechless. It's a beautiful kit, it really is. So yeah, you definitely need this one for your collection, absolutely. Go buy it. Thanks for watching, all three of you. If you've managed to stay this far, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Stay tuned. Like I say, I've got 2 pre-orders from the Bandai range. One will be arriving late February, early March. The other one will be arriving late March, early April by the look of it. Still to be confirmed. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. What? With a pointed finger like that, he's got to do the John Travolta.